Hey, it's David with Iowa Tonight, and we are here at John Kite's shop, Village Blacksmith in Valley Junction on Iowa Tonight. Hey, it's David with Iowa Tonight, and I am here with Latrice in Valley Junction. Hey, we are here at Midwest Model Agency with Gretta at a photo shoot. Hey, it's David with Iowa Tonight, and we are at La Michoacana in Valley Junction, making some tamales with Maria and Carmen.
Brought to you by Midwest Model Agency.
Hey, we're back with Gretta, and the photo shoot went pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I like the outfit.
Thank you.
But then I found out you do something cool.
Yeah.
So what is it that you do?
I love painting pets.
Right, you don't paint on the pets, but you're painting pets.
No, I do not paint on the pets, no. Pet portraits.
How long have you been doing this?
So my first pet portrait I did in about, I think, 2017. I did it for just a gift, a Christmas gift for a doctor that I worked with.
Oh.
It was my first time doing it. I'd never done it before. She just recently lost her dog. And so I thought it would be really meaningful to try and paint the pet. And so I did it, and it went very well.
Okay, so I'm sure before then though, you have painted or drawn.
Yeah, I've been in art classes. I was in the Talented and Gifted program throughout my school years. And so I did a lot of like artwork through there. I made a lot of science projects, PowerPoints. I did a big PowerPoint about dogs in fifth grade.
How many pets have you painted now? Have you any idea? 10? 20?
Definitely not 10. I do it as a hobby. So
Okay.
I've done, I think, 3 in total that I have finished, but they all turned out really well. Like, I'm super surprised about it. Drawing wise, I do draw dogs quite a bit. It seems to be the dogs. Dogs is the theme.
Yeah, I used to draw. Horses are really hard to draw. I don't know if you ever tried to draw horses.
I haven't tried to draw a horse.
Yeah, they're incredibly hard.
I'm scared of horses.
So, so you've just done the 3.
Mm-hmm.
Were all of those for someone who lost a pet, or what was it?
The first one was for someone who lost a pet. The second one is I had just started my job at Blue Pearl, and we had that Secret Santa, and so we had a spending limit. The spending limit was $25. I had just started. I knew nobody there. And so I drew the name, and I'm like, man, I don't know this lady. I don't know anything about her, but I know she has a cat. So I went and I actually stalked her Facebook page to find pictures of her cat. I didn't know the cat's name. I barely knew what it looked like. I just knew that she had one. And so
It's a good thing she likes that cat.
Yeah, she does. I swear. She loves it. And so I downloaded the photo, and then I sat down for 3 hours, and it was like the first time was a success, and painted that for her, and it was under the spending limit. So it was under $25. And then I gave it to her, and she cried.
She cried?
She did. She loved it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that kind of tops a lot of people's gifts for Christmas. I mean, making someone cry with their pet picture.
Well, I didn't know what to get her. I'm like, I could get you a coloring book, but I don't know if you like coloring, so.
That's not fair at all. Okay, so.
It was under the limit.
If you could, send me a couple of pictures so that I can flash them up while we're doing the interview.
Yeah.
Okay, this is David, and this is Gretta with Iowa Tonight. Thanks for watching, and have a great night.
Have a great night.
And cut. Hey, we're back with Latrice. Now, Latrice, I discovered after some time talking to you that you do something cool besides being beautiful and modeling and acting and real estate. What is it you do?
I make vegan lotions and creams.
Okay, how did you get into this?
So when I was pregnant, I had a stroke with my last child, number 4. And when he was born, he had some reactions to the medications I was on. So his skin was really blistery and red. It was like really bad eczema.
So it was out of necessity?
Yeah, it was out of necessity for sure.
Okay.
And everything that I found over the counter had like things in it that didn't agree with his body. He had so many allergies, peanuts and eggs and all kinds of things. And so I decided to make my own.
Wow.
And the stuff I made is vegan, it's pure. I know exactly what's going into it. I know the process, and it cured him. So
Wow.
no eczema for him anymore.
Wow. So now, since he's better,
Yeah.
but you're still making this
I
stuff.
still make it to maintain our healthy skin glow, obviously.
Is that why your skin is so clear?
Probably. I don't use over-the-counter stuff. I only use what I make. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Well, that's really cool. And I don't suppose you make it for public. You just make it for...
I make it for friends and family, but if you're really nice, ask, and I'll make it for
Okay.
you.
Okay, so I may put a link down there if you want to get a hold of Latrice's
Yeah.
lotions. We'll figure that out. Okay, this is David with Iowa Tonight. Thanks for joining us, and have a great tonight.
Bye.
Hey, it's David. We're back at La Michoacana with Diego, and I came here to talk about the tamales.
Yep.
And we're going to show you Carmen and Maria making some tamales. And I got some questions for you.
Yep.
Now, I grew up in a English Spanish family,
Yep.
and I never learned all the secrets of making the tamales.
Uh-huh.
But so my question is right away: how long has the store been here? How did it get started? I know your dad's not here right now,
Yep.
and I see you're running the place right
Yeah,
now.
right now.
So, how long has this been around?
We've been around for 19 years, and my dad started it. We used to live here, so and my dad started this store because the whole Valley Junction, is a business.
So, did it start out as a restaurant, or was it just started out as a
No,
grocery
it
store?
started off as a grocery store.
As a grocery store,
Yeah.
and then it kind of grew.
Yeah, and then it kind of grew.
Because when I first came here, I had no idea there was a restaurant or
Yeah, yeah.
a kitchen,
Uh-huh.
and they'd come back here just to get some supplies, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'll have some tacos,
Yeah,
and then I see that people come in and they're just coming and going.
yeah, yeah.
So I understand on market night on Thursday nights, you probably sell a lot.
Yeah, we sold tons of food on Thursdays.
How many tamales do you usually make a week?
We usually make around 300, and then during the holidays it's probably over 600, maybe 900 at
How many
times.
different varieties of tamales do you have?
We have beef, chicken, pork. Sometimes we also make sweet tamales.
Sweet?
Yeah.
Or do you have like mild and spicy?
Yeah, we have mild and spicy.
So all those, so the pork and the everything in different
Yeah.
hotness.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's like 10 different kinds now.
Yeah, yeah, around there.
Okay. What is the biggest single order you've gotten for tamales?
For tamales, probably that I can think of right now, probably around 300, 400 tamales.
For
yeah.
one order?
One order, one person.
Was that like a wedding or a party, or?
It was just a party, like a Christmas party.
Oh, okay.
It was 2 months ago that I
Now,
did
do you
it.
ever ship any food?
No, we don't. We never ship any
You don't
food.
ship any?
No.
You deliver?
Yeah, we
So
deliver.
What's the farthest you've had to drive from
It's
La
La Michoacana.
I can't say it anymore. I had it down pat.
Yeah, La Michoacana.
La Michoacana. How far did you have to go?
Probably Ames, I would say.
You drove to Ames.
Ames, yeah.
For a delivery.
For a delivery.
That's a long drive for a delivery.
Yeah.
I hope they tipped well.
No, yeah, they did. It was also to a Mexican restaurant, which is
Another
funny.
restaurant.
Yeah.
So did they? What they were out of something? What were they out of?
No, they just wanted our menudo. They wanted
The menudo?
Yeah, the menudo.
Oh man! You see, I didn't even know you had menudo.
Yeah.
And so my daughters are going to ask me if they see this. Did you bring us tamales?
Yeah.
I was here just for tacos, and then I saw a lady ordering the tamales, and he said to her, "Do you want the regular spicy?"
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, of course you're going to get the spicy.
The spicy, yeah.
So I got the spicy.
Yeah, yeah.
Hey Terry, okay, what did you come here for?
Well, we come here for meals. I love the burritos. They're excellent. And we always buy the Nepali.
What is that? Cactus?
This is cactus as well.
What do you do with it?
With cactus, you eat it raw. You can grill it. You can slice it and dice it and put it with eggs. It's excellent.
Get out
Very,
of here.
very good for you. It helps reduce sugar. I don't know all the other benefits, but there are many.
Wow.
And so their cactus
What
is
did you
usually
call it? Just cactus?
yeah, Nepali. Okay, that's the official term, Nepali.
Wow.
So, but I'm just getting cactus today and some burritos, and because we just always buy whatever they've got on special for meals. Food's good.
Yeah,
Never
what's your
had
first
any
name
health
again?
problems with it. It's always great.
Como se llama? What's your name?
Terry Wadley.
Terry Wadley. Thanks for the quick interview, Terry.
Oh, you're
Appreciate
most
it.
welcome.
Okay.
Okay, so is there something that you do not make that customers ask about?
Pozole.
Pozole.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I was in here the other day and I was wondering if you had pozole. He said no pozole.
Yeah, no, we don't. But my mom makes some really good pozole.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it
Amazing.
spicy?
It's like medium spice.
And because I make pozole,
Yeah.
and I'll bet hers is better.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
really like to
No, yeah.
talk you.
I've
into
tried a
making-
lot of pozoles, and
Uh-huh.
my mom's pozole is the best.
And yeah, see, my mom made the pozole, and I try, and I just can't. I mean,
You can't
it's
get
good,
it right,
But
yeah.
there's just something not right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is David at La Michoacana,
La Michoacana.
La Michoacana, and Valley Junction in West Des Moines, and this is Iowa Tonight. You have a great tonight. Adios. Hey, we're back at the blacksmith shop and with John Kite. John, when I drove by and I saw the shop, I about flipped because I look for people who make stuff. And I've been talking with John just a few minutes, and my mind's going crazy, as you got some great stories. And so if you could tell me how this started, how long you've been doing it, and how long you've been in this spot.
I get asked that question a lot, and I've got 2 brothers and 2 sisters, and when we were kids, we had a lot of stuff that was broken and had to get fixed before Dad got home. Otherwise, you're in trouble. So you learn to fix stuff, and that just kind of became a career. And I've been doing it here in this building for 24 years, and I was in Urbandale for pretty close to 30.
54 years.
Yeah, and
Wow.
fixing stuff.
Okay. Now, what is I'm kind of fixated on this question with everybody is, what's the farthest you've shipped something that you had to make, and where was it?
The most recent one was I shipped a thing to Morocco for the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Division of the ATF here. It was a punch that was used for training bomb dogs and drug dogs. That's probably the farthest away, I guess. I've got stuff all over the world. I shipped some things to England, to Spain, Germany.
Can you remember what you shipped to Germany?
Yes. I used to build a kit that converted Honda three-wheelers into two-wheel ATVs. And I've got kits all over the world.
Wait. Did you engineer this, or did you get the blueprints?
No, I engineered it. Three-wheelers became out of favor, and they were deemed to be dangerous. And I always say that they're as dangerous as the guy that's hanging onto the handlebars.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a lot of them out there not being ridden, and I wanted to repurpose them, so I converted them into a two-wheel ATV by making a swing arm and a rear fender and some other things.
Wow.
And it was a kit that could be retrofitted to any of the particular Honda three-wheelers that it would actually fit. And so I've got them in Germany and Spain, France, England.
There is so much equipment in here. It reminds me of an auto shop, except there's not oil and grease everywhere and car parts. What is the most crazy machine in here, the most expensive, the most important?
Probably the ones I use the most are the welders. And I have 9 different welders. There's 3 of them that I use the most, and I do an awful lot of welding. Broken things come in.
Sure.
I always say that I'm not smart enough to say no, so I pretty much tackle anything. And a little bit ago, there was a gentleman that is actually a neighbor, came in with some hinges off of his gate for his house, backyard, and they were broken, and I just welded them back together so he could use his gate. But it just runs a gamut. I never know what's coming through the door next. All right, we're in the plasma cutting room. This is a 5 by 10 foot plasma bench, and it's computer controlled. The torch is in the middle there, and the computer controls the direction and height and movement of that torch, and we cut out all sorts of different kinds of patterns. Obviously we cut a great big washer is what I cut out of this. That's what I needed. This is just basically scrap.
Okay, now I know that you've probably gotten some very strange requests. So could you give me one or two of the strangest items that you've had to fabricate?
Probably the most unique was years ago, there was a doctor here in town, Dr. Starch, had a piece of artwork from the Ming Dynasty, and it had some broken pieces in it, and he wanted them replaced. And so I took a couple of chunks of steel, they were very small pieces, and I cut them off and then put them on the bench and beat them up, make them look old. And I always say this, you try and put yourself back in the kitchen. How did they make it back then? And they didn't have modern tools, so you try and make it with the idea in mind that they didn't have those tools. So, and I replaced these two pieces, riveted them in, and replaced these two pieces in this artwork for this doctor. That was probably the most unique item, but I get things every day. I was telling you earlier that we had a big piece of construction equipment out back, probably weighed 40, 50,000 pounds, that they were using on a road down here, and it needed welding so they could continue. I welded it, and then I came in the shop, and a nurse friend of mine was here with a couple of needles. Actually, there's 4 needles that they were going to use in this heart surgery that afternoon that needed to be modified because they wouldn't fit the holder that they had. So you get the yin and the yang.
So they had to do surgery that day, and they come to you, can you fix this so we can do the surgery? Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
There's a lot of different industries that I get involved with. I do a lot of work for the lawn care business. I do a lot of restaurant work. They break things in their restaurants, and yep. They need them fixed right now because otherwise their restaurant's down.
How many blades would you say you've sharpened?
I don't do a lot of blade sharpening. Most of the lawn care guys have their own equipment to sharpen the blades. I do sharpen blades for just residential people.
Sure.
But the lawn care guys have their own because they sharpen a lot. But they break things. They run over things. It could be the lawnmower that they broke. It could be a snow blower. It could be a plow. It just runs a gamut. I never know what's coming through the door next.
Did you ever get somebody walk through the door that you recognized from as a particularly famous person, or someone that you knew who they were before they got in the door?
Oh, it happens all the time. John McLaughlin came in with a mm-hmm. broken piece that needed fixed, and
the newscaster.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Ed Wilson was probably the most recent that came in with something that was broken.
You know John McLaughlin has a brother named Sean McLaughlin? Oh. So I used to live in Arizona, and I watched the news with Sean McLaughlin, and I moved here 20 years ago, and there's John McLaughlin. Okay, now, probably my last question, because I'm kind of keeping you a while, is you were showing me about what you're manufacturing for the dogs, mm-hmm. and the caps and the holes, but mm-hmm. you mentioned gasoline. So I was trying to wrap my head around that. What's going on with what you're making? And I'm going to get some footage while we talk about this.
A friend of mine here in town was a federal marshal, and he was trying to learn how to train his dog Gucci. And we made these punches so that they could put an explosive and or a drug into this tin and sprinkle them into buildings, and then have the dogs run through the buildings and find them.
Okay.
I made a larger version of that, and I assumed that they were doing the same thing with it, but I learned today, because they just placed another order, that they actually used the larger one for training the arson dogs.
Really?
Yeah, this is at Front Royal, Virginia, at the ATF headquarters there. And they put gasoline in, and he said, we put other things in the container that might be in the room, like a chunk of carpet or just whatever, and then they sprinkle these in the buildings, and they make the dogs go find them and identify them. So it's a whole different part of the Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Division that's actually training the arson dogs that I didn't realize that was what was going on. So.
Wow. So, man, you do so many different things here. I could probably ask you questions all day. And if you want to get a hold of John, I'm going to put some kind of a link down below. I don't know if it's a number or an email address, because I don't think we have a website. But if you need something custom made in metal or just about anything, this is the place to go. And thanks for joining us on Iowa Tonight. This is David and John, and you all have a great Iowa Tonight.